Welcome to Shorty Supercoach, and I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update on what's to come. There's only a couple of weeks to go before the first bounce, so obviously we're starting to really hone in on our final sides. Got some practice games going, so I just want to give you a little bit of direction of how we're going to go towards that first bounce and what videos will be coming up. But probably the main thing I wanted to talk about was in season. And I've always every year I rack my brain about not so much how I can get the interest up over pre-season or the first couple of months of the season, because people are keen. There's lots of trading. You still got a bit of optimism about how your side's going to go. But I always find the views and the interest drops off after the buys, even throughout them. And, that's fair enough. I can't ask everyone to maintain the same sort of passion they had, in round 1 compared to round 14 and 15. Because there is less trading and your team's more set and there's less to think about, less to discuss. But the one thing I want to implement this year is a weekly Q&A, and hopefully that can keep the interest up a little bit, because that will see your direct questions answered. Now, my main thing about this is to not overload myself with a massive amount of questions and video content, because throughout the season it can be difficult to find a stack of time to do like a Q&A video, particularly early in the season. I'm just guessing, but you could get 60, 70 comments, and there could be some might ask one question, some might ask 3. How do you tell who to answer and who to not? So it will be selected questions. I will try to shake that up throughout the season. People subscribe to my Patreon will get their questions answered, as it always says in that tier. Your Q&A questions always get answered. So look, if you're really keen to get your question answered, that's a surefire way to do it. But I understand not everyone has the money or wants to do that sort of thing. So at first I was like, I want to do some more Patreon Q&A, but then I also thought, well, I don't want to create a divide or disadvantage people who just aren't interested in doing that, and that's fair enough. So I will honor all my Patreon's questions, and I will select some from my Q&A subscribers, and that will be just on my press conference. Any questions on my press conference video I will then answer, and I'll tell you a cutoff. It'll probably be like, I'll probably look to do the video on Thursday and, select the questions on Tuesday night or something like that. And I'll do my very best to get around to everyone over the course of the season. And I will try to preference some of the people that I do see commenting more and more often. And sometimes there might be a question that really stands out or makes me laugh or is really, crucial to what's going on this weekend. So that'll be the main thing. How will it look throughout throughout the actual season? I'll have Sunday night. I'm really aiming to do my press conference on a Sunday night this year, get it a bit more relevant. And we'll still have the weekend preview coming up once we see the teams. And then I'll have this Q&A as well. So I am hoping to do a little bit more content, but it is time dependent. But they'll be the 3 lock and load videos throughout the season. So hopefully you can get around that. As for the rest of this pre-season, we've got a bit to cover. And I want to do plenty on the practice games, obviously. But then once they're all done and dusted, I'll have, certainly a couple more looks at my side. I certainly will have a really good look at the rookies, the Supercoach leagues, Shorty Supercoach leagues. There will be those. So definitely stay tuned for that. I think you can have a total of 10 for your team. I think I'm in 4 at the moment, so I'll see how that develops, but there could be scope to have 5 Shorty Supercoach leagues. As I said before with the Q&A, if you're desperate to get a league spot, you can I think it's about $5 you can throw me. You can unsubscribe after 1 month with the Patreon just to get that league code. That'll guarantee it. So if you're really keen to take me on, that's an option as well. And I will also have a look at each line and the most relevant players. So I do enjoy having a look at the ownership. That sort of gives you a good guide of who people are interested in. So I'll have a look at the defence, the forward line, mids, rucks, and just go through every relevant player. So if a guy's got 2-3% of sides, I'll still give a couple of thoughts on him, because that's the best way to... People always ask me about certain players and can you do a player profile on this guy, and you can't get to everyone and it's difficult. So I think going through every relevant player in, it might be 2% of sides, it might be 22% of sides, but that way you can scroll through and be like, oh, what's he reckon on... It might just be 12 seconds worth on some bloke, but it can give you a little indication. And obviously some players I'll spend a couple of minutes on, those more relevant types. But, that's pretty much all we've got to go now. There will be some other little videos, but player profiles probably stopped right now. I might have a couple to fill out the rest of this week and maybe over the weekend. But me and Langus will pair up. There'll be, team reveals. I want to do a couple of different things with that as well. And I am working towards doing another goal kicking video also. So that's a bit of a mapping out of what's to come. If you got any ideas on what you'd like to see, certainly flick us a comment and I'll, do my best to incorporate it. But I do always find this time of year it's tough because you've got all these things you want to talk about, heaps of discussion points, and you've only got about 14 days, and it can be tough to find time to consistently deliver it. So we'll do our very best to smash it all out. I appreciate all your support. As I often say, we're ticking the subscribers over really nicely. The views are going really well, and this is peak interest for Supercoach time. Everyone's really getting keen about it, and everyone thinks that they've got the best team right now. So hopefully we can work our way towards that. But I'll catch you soon anyway. I'll have a couple of videos out throughout the week, and then we'll certainly get on to reviewing the latest from the Marsh Community Series. So I'll chat to you soon. Cheers.